Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Taking a quick look here at Ethereum, and we're just going to explain, because I get this question a lot earlier today from my members. How and why did we take 50% in 24 hours on just a 5x leverage short for Ethereum? Okay, so again, just going to talk about that and much more, kind of explain how that actually occurred and just what kind of went into that setup. But more importantly, kind of look at more backend data here too, and kind of make sure that we understand what's going to happen next with this coin, because it does appear that it might want to continue lower, and we got to be prepared for that too, just because Bitcoin seems like it wants to dead cat bounce. Okay, so we'll discuss that and much more. If you're new to the channel, though, keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. I do love teach people to trade, and I hope you can learn something here today. Quick little heads up, we recently partnered with Bitunix, phenomenal exchange, no KYC, no VPN required, and extremely healthy transitional benefits there. So you want to become a newbie over there, check it out. Trailing stop losses, really cool features you don't see with other exchanges. Thanks again, Bitunix, for a phenomenal opportunity for my members. Again, mainly the KYC VPN issue that we're having in the States and Canada, other countries too. All right, so Ethereum, what's the haps here? All right, let's talk about the daily. Work our way down first and foremost. RSI is coming back into that realistic zone of 50 to 70. That's perfectly fine. Not an extremely bearish scenario whatsoever. Money flow index is coming down too, and the MACD is diverging. We haven't fully diverged yet, so nothing to concern ourselves with, but simply put, we are working our way down these fib levels. We can see we wicked all the way down to 1945. By the way, our profit target was right there at about 1950. So truth is, when you set targets, put them just above Fibonacci retracement levels if you're going down, and just below the fib levels you're going up. You're going to get filled a lot more than putting it right at the exact price point. Never use round numbers when you're trying to get filled. Okay, just friendly advice there. In my experience, my goodness, I've missed out on so much opportunity by just picking a round number because it seems nice, and everyone else felt the same thing. All right, so again, be different. Think different. All right, so let's take a quick peek at, Elliott Wave. We'll talk about that here on smaller time frames. We're still above most moving averages here. Literally, there's nothing like crazy bearish here on the daily. Okay, so we got to recognize, still in good shape. You don't have to, sell your ETH bags. This is mainly happening because it's aligned with Bitcoin on the way down now, officially, that we've seen a sell-off from Bitcoin. Okay. Again, Ethereum was performing quite independent and well, contrary to Bitcoin, but if you kind of look here, there's going to be a correlation between these two coins. Does that look familiar? Yeah, exactly. I see Ethereum pumped up here one last time for like a little gift. That's where we got in about 2100. And thank you very much for that. You could just tell that that was that didn't have any legs though, because again, we rejected off 50 or 70 on the RSI at the time. There was a handful of reasons why that extra little bit of money came in and quickly went away. Okay, again, just a little pump and dump there, last little ditch effort to push the price action higher, and it failed. Okay. So 4-hour time frame. Before we do this, let's just go ahead and look at the backend data here. I just want to note there's a lot of liquidation levels that just got smashed for the longs. So try not to be a late long in the 1900 range. If you hadn't taken profit by now, it's frustrating to say, but you should have known this was happening. I mean, look how overextended this coin was outside of Bitcoin. And Bitcoin pulling back slowly, not getting past that resistance level. You kind of got to respect that. And again, Ethereum, until it breaks free from Bitcoin, we got to assume it's going to continue to align itself, and it's doing that right now. Okay. Needless to say, a lot of liquidation between 1923 and 1980 got hit pretty hard. We can see I wouldn't say everyone, but this is the delta for net longs versus shorts. We can see there's a significant amount of folks trying to short this coin right now, and with good reason. Obviously, we can see that there is good reason here for that. Taking a quick look at the net longs here for Ethereum, just quickly note this is the last 12 hours of longs. We can see some longs got hit hard there. But generally speaking, longs aren't like in terrible shape. They're just not great. In fact, let's zoom out, because this I keep forgetting this 12-hour one doesn't give us proper data. There we go. That looks a little bit more accurate. We can see some longs here got liquidated pretty hard right there, and of course we got some late longs here in the market too. So generally speaking, this price point about 2030 that we talked about earlier, it's going to be a new resistance now that was a previous support. And that was a support based on volume, but also liquidation. Okay, so 2025, if the price comes back up to that level, that may be a consideration for another short, because I'm expecting, the 0.5 Fibonacci level on Bitcoin at 36,000 to reject out. And if that happens, we're going to see the same thing from ETH. Okay, just some things I like to kind of pay attention to. It's not an exact science by any stretch, but it is it's helpful. Okay. Speaking of helpful, take a look at this. We can look at 1850 as the next target for liquidation. In other words, market movers, they push the price to certain levels to wipe out a lot of longs. You can see here the longs at about 1980, 1970 all got hit pretty hard. And of course, there's new shorts entering the market too. So it's not to say it's one-sided any, but at this point, we can see 1850, a large amount of accumulation there, therefore a likely target for the whales, okay? So just note that. So 1850 is this guy right here, just kind of give you perspective. That's 1850, okay? Which is just below this volume support. So keep in mind, it's going to be difficult to get through that, but it is definitely still a thing. Usually what happens, the price comes down like this, like, yeah, we're all good, and then whoop, it just wicks out and gives you that nice little power 3 to the downside. Not great stuff. If you're curious about some playout charts and different type of scenarios, I have that on my Discord, Telegram, and Twitter, but we're in a situation right now where it's still not looking great. Like, even though the macro looks pretty strong, we can recognize here that we're under 50 on the RSI, MACD is diverging. We got some liquidity levels that on the top and bottom side here. Elliott Wave does anticipate a potential lower low. This could be the lowest point, keep in mind. We don't truly know. 0.5 in Fibonacci is a very strong support in most cases. 1950 could be the support. We take a quick look at TD sequential. We're down to a 5. We got a potential of another 20, 16 to 32 hours of continuation, give or take. And moving averages, we're now under the 50. This is the same thing with Bitcoin too, although Bitcoin's underneath the 100 now, and it's kind of concerning. So we do have the 100 here, potentially holding our price action in place, but just know larger overextension from Ethereum, larger correction from Ethereum as well, if Bitcoin decides it wants to retrace. So last but not least, let's quickly double check the cloud. I'm sure it's going to tell us that we are truly bearish, which we knew before. We just don't know how long this could last. So in other words, probably got about 12 hours, maybe 16 hours before that intersects. And if and when that happens and the price hasn't gone any lower, then you may want to consider closing your short. So to my folks that have a nice, healthy short position open with Ethereum, we've already taken 60-70% of our profit. Let that ride. It's gonna be okay. If it comes back to break even, we took more profit than what's going to come back, and it's all well and good. And our stop loss adjust evenly, or just adjust to break even rather, automatically with our Bitunix setup. So again, fully automated, super nice. Just let it ride. Okay. It's all built in there. Again, if you're not familiar with that, I do have a recommendation here in our Bitunix section of kind of like the bot configuration and how you should properly set it up if you are following. Last but not least here, conversion lines below the baseline. Clouds right there at about 2,000. So again, that kind of speaks to the 2,000, 2025 range being a resistance. So there's a good chance if the price comes up here, we'll get that little resistance and price comes down for a little dead cat. So I'm not super bullish on Ethereum right now based on the overall sentiment and how Bitcoin's performing. Most of it's based on Bitcoin. It's not because I have a personal bias against this coin. You shouldn't have a personal bias against or for any coin either. A true trader really looks at things abstractly and understands that I'm not going to attach emotion to this thing. This is not a real object. This is not a real thing. I'm not going to get emotional. Okay, try to adopt that philosophy. Easier said than done. Okay, all right. Thanks again for watching. I know I rambled a little bit there. Sorry for that. If you could please help me like the video, like, subscribe, follow. Jump on over to our Bitunix Crypto Cash partnership there. Link down below for that. Use the link, of course, if you want to benefit from these offers. And obviously, look forward to work with you. Have yourself a great rest of your day. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.